Okay, so as promised in my previous video, we're going to take a look at some more of the conference, the panel show that Meghan Markle was involved in the other day at the South by Southwest conference festival in Austin, Texas. And it is absolutely amazing. And as I said in my previous video, Meghan is the least offensive of the 5 women that are there on stage. Meghan Markle, every time she comes out and does a public speech, I love it, because I know she's going to rattle off the same banal nonsense. She's going to put all the intonation in the wrong places in her sentences, and it's just going to be thoroughly entertaining. The other 4 women on the stage with her, there was 3 women and Brooke Shields, who, by the way, when Brooke Shields walked out on stage, I thought it was Caitlyn Jenner. She's huge. I have nothing against huge women. I'm just saying she's really big. She's the same height as me. And not only that, she was power dressing like it was 1986. Shoulder pads when you're 6 foot tall. Crazy. Anyway, she's completely unhinged. But the other 3 women, they are ready to start a revolution. You're going to see them today. They are ready to stick every man of a particular demographic in the gulag tomorrow. Yesterday, all right? And I'm not going to go, all right? I ain't going to no gulag, or at least you'll have to fool me into walking into a gulag, okay? You'll have to put a spiral staircase like for those cows, you know? I'll go, oh, a spiral staircase, what the? Oh, no, I'm in a, yeah, you know, you get the idea. Anyway, the point is, I love Meghan Markle. She's great. I love everything she does, everything she says, you know? And yet, yesterday, for the first time ever, in 2 years of on and off making videos about Harry and Meghan, more on than off, I had my first interaction on Twitter with the Sugars, though apparently they don't like to be called that, the Sussex Squaddies, whatever, people whose entire personality is defending Harry and Meghan, right? Now, you must understand, my personality is not attacking Harry and Meghan. I literally, all my videos, go back and look at them. It's literally me watching what they do in public and laughing at it because it's bloody hilarious. Now, clearly these squaddies don't really know who I am, and most of them. Certainly the ones that were commenting on my tweets. Because I sent out a very non-offensive tweet about how, oh, Meghan did a conference, great, I've got a month's worth of material. It was just like a silly throwaway tweet. And for some reason, it got a lot of attention. And these squaddies started attacking the people in my comments, saying that they looked like industrially produced chickens. I thought, that's a bit harsh. And I noticed these comments that they didn't get who I was, because the ones that were attacking me were things like they were putting photos of the KKK, saying it was William and Kate. They think I'm some kind of royal stan, right? And anyone who's been following me knows I don't make any videos about the other members of the royal family. I'll mention them from time to time, but it really isn't the focus of my videos. My focus is just laughing at people in general, people who make fools of themselves in public, famous people, normally. And they didn't seem to get that. They assumed that I'm some kind of mega racist who hates Meghan Markle, which clearly I'm not. You've watched my videos, a lot of you, and I think you can all attest to that fact. But what I did learn yesterday is, because I interacted with a couple of them, is that the insults were very, very interesting. First of all, they were looking at my profile picture and saying, he's got no lips, right? Because in my profile picture, I'm doing this. It's a blurry picture of me looking like that. And I'm pursing my lips, okay? And not that it bothers me, but so I sort of posted a selfie of myself saying, this is me, you're all anonymous accounts, let's see what you look like, kind of thing. And of course, they all started attacking me for being lipless. So I answered those ones because that was bizarre. I noticed that they really thought I didn't have any lips. And then I started going, have I got lips? I think I have. And I was like, oh, yes, I've got lips for days. All right, so I'm not worried about that. I've got lips. All right, there is no... I didn't think about that all day yesterday. I've got a stiff upper lip. That's what I've got. A very stiff, British, stoic upper lip. Out of the darkness that surrounds me. Black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank what gods may be for my unconquerable soul. You know the name of that poem? Harry likes it. There's your clue. Anyway, my point is that I was arguing. I was having this back and forth with these people. And one of the insults, or some of the insults that were directed at me and other people, is all focusing on complexion, lips, droopy skin, stuff like that. And I was thinking, very odd, these attacks, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. It's strange. And then one of them said, this guy looks like an uncooked chicken schnitzel. And I thought, okay, interesting. I guess that's the thing people say. And then I walk around my house a lot doing voices to myself. You've seen my voices. You've heard my voices in my videos. And I was going, uncooked chicken schnitzel. He looked like an uncooked chicken schnitzel. And suddenly it dawned on me. You know, and I was starting to put two and two together. There was a woman who said something about my lips who actually did have a real photo of herself as a profile pic. And she had quite full lips. And I said, oh, well, I'm pursing my lips in the photo. Something you'll never be able to do. She blocked me. And I realized, I did the voice. I was like, the woman who blocked me after saying that. I've been arguing for half an hour on Twitter with a load of black people about lip size and complexion and stuff. I did not know that. I was as shocked as anybody. That's definitely not a good look, is it? But they started it. So, anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get into the show.
Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Nancy, I want to come down to you because you know better than anyone the damage that inaccurate portrayals have on society. I'm just wondering what your reaction is to this report.
Yeah, so one of the findings of the Moms Report is that on television, moms are represented as thin, young, white, and not really working outside of the home, which is a patriarchal fantasy, right? This is not our real lives.
Oh no, think of the untold damage that will do to the fabric of society if they portray mothers, God forbid, as young and in shape on television. We just can't stand idly by while they do this to us, can we? Now, I don't like getting political. I really don't. I know it's a cliche, but as I get older, I am becoming more and more apolitical. But what I cannot stand are liars and grifters. Now, these two women right here, if they believe what they're saying, they're retarded. If they don't believe what they're saying, they are liars and therefore evil. There is no way that you can have a society without having an ideal. And the media, I think they should be portraying an ideal. I've said this before about news anchors and stuff. People with roles of responsibility, they should behave in a way, they should behave with decorum, they should behave with a certain amount of stoicism and objectivity when they're talking about the news, for example. There is nothing wrong with portraying in the media, in film, in series, television series, people who are attractive, people who are accomplished, people who have got their shit together. Having said all that, that doesn't mean we exclude people who don't meet those standards. We don't exclude them from society. We don't stop making programs about other people who don't fit those particular requirements. They're not requirements. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. And at the same time, I have to say, I'm living in a parallel universe to these two. What are they talking about? Have they watched Netflix? Have they watched anything? This is not true. What do you mean that it's all white women who are thin and young and the housewives? What the fuck are you talking about? Have you watched television for the last 40 years? That is not true. It's just not true. Shut up.
And it erases the fact that the U.S., out of all the wealthy countries, is ranked second to last when it comes to childcare and parental leave policies. And I remember when I was in grad school, that's when I had my first baby, and I found it harder to secure affordable and good quality, high quality childcare than to actually complete my PhD.
Wow.
That was how I felt. I mean, if anyone has ever looked for childcare, you know, it's like the hardest thing ever.
Wow. Now, I know life happens. Judge not lest ye be judged, right? But here's a thought. Did it ever occur to you to not have a baby while you were struggling to pay your way through grad school? It's just a thought, all right? Anyway, as I said, I don't want to get into politics. There is surely an argument to be had about more paid leave and help for mothers, childcare, blah, blah, blah. My inclination, and maybe I'm just a bastard, but when anyone in the developed world comes to me and says, oh, my life, because of all of these external things about society, I don't know, it really falls on my deaf ears, you know? I zone out. I'm like, yeah, oh, that sounds terrible, sorry you're going through that. I don't care. I guess I am just a bit of a bastard. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is this. What has that got to do with representation on TV? Is it that you want to see a load of women struggling to pay the bills on TV? Isn't TV supposed to be an escape from your shit? What do you want? To just see your shitty life reflected back at you when you get home every day from your horrible job? Really?
And so, you know, in terms of societal, when you have policymakers who are not working moms for the most part, right? These are the ones that are actually determining policy. And we know that if they're not actually having contact with folks, they're deriving their ideas from television, from film, right? Just subconsciously. You know that's not real, but that's what you're seeing. And you're seeing, oh, hey, everything's great. Working moms, they're just mostly at home, and men are the breadwinners. Meghan mentioned the motherhood penalty, right? Because men, when they become fathers, they get a fatherhood bonus. Yes, they actually make more money, whereas women are making less. So all of this reality is not reflected on television, and that really hurts policy and any kind of societal change.
Well, aren't like 30% of US politicians women, and presumably most of them are mothers, so I guess there are actually a lot of working mothers who are policymakers in the US. But leaving that to one side, I do think she might have a point in that politicians are so wildly out of touch. You know, they spend all their time thinking about their own career and stuff that when they come back after a long day of backslapping and ball sucking and they switch on Netflix, they might actually think that that is a really accurate representation of the world, of the country they're living in, right? That's absolutely true. Now, at the same time, I think it's a little far-fetched to believe that if you make a load of horribly depressing series about single mothers struggling to pay their way through college and afford the iPhone 15, I mean, it's just, do you really think that that's going to affect the change that you want in the world? I'm not sure it is. Anyway, let's listen to Meghan's next hot take.
Yeah, so we're perpetuating negative or wrong stereotypes when we could be perpetuating positive images and representation. So we know that proper representation is such a critical driver for social change. So Meghan, why is this such an important factor in making the world more equitable?
All right, steady on there, Lenin, with your equitable outcomes. We've all seen Jordan Peterson. We know what equity is. He explained, it's the equality of outcome. And then you're going to come for this Kulak's land with your agricultural reforms, eh? Well, you're not going to fool me. You're not going to send me off to some forced labour camp in Siberia or Alaska, okay? It ain't going to happen. This is one clever cow. No spiral staircase is going to fool me. You're going to need cattle prods, plural.
I've said this for so many years, and I hope that it starts to land, but I think we can all agree that representation matters.
No, it doesn't, and we already do it, so shut up.
In terms of if you're a young girl and you see yourself in a position of power or strength or leadership, you can believe that that is possible. If you look out on the screen or you look out in the world and you see no one that looks like you, it is incomprehensible for most people to imagine that they can have that level of success or joy or strength, whatever it may be.
Meghan, are you familiar with Disney Plus? You'd love it. It costs like $8 a month, and there's loads of representation. Where did the Gina Davis Institute and Archwell, that kind of tagged along for the research, where did they collect their data? In 1964? I mean, I couldn't care less, but seriously, they can't believe what they're saying. It's impossible that they believe what they're saying. Or, you know, I mean, Meghan has said herself she doesn't watch TV, and that rings true to me because, I mean, when was the last time you turned on your TV? Certainly in my lifetime. When was the last time you turned on your TV and thought, oh, this just isn't on, the way they're misrepresenting women and people of colour. For God's sake, make them the boss for once. I want to see them portrayed in a positive light. It's about bloody time. I don't know, going back to the 90s, like I grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a rich black family. The matriarch, the mother of the family was the leader, definitely. Ashley was like really good at everything. She was like a really cute kid, smart, really good-natured. And I don't understand. What was the other guy that was always portraying good family values? You know, Sir Rapes-a-Lot. Bill Cosby. And then aren't they contradicting themselves as well? Because they're saying they're not happy with this image that the media are trying to ram down our throats of the thin, attractive young women who are all white and are mothers to 2.4 kids in the suburbs. They just are so obsessed pushing that image on us. God. Seriously, when was the last time any of these owned a television? It's insane. But anyway, let's say that's the case. They're not happy with that misrepresentation of reality, the distortion of reality. They want the media to reflect the struggle of these single women trying to pay their way through college. Yet at the same time, they want young women, particularly women of colour, to aspire to something greater. They do want an unrealistic ideal to be represented. They want a load of women of colour being CEO girl bosses on the series. Well, I don't know. Can you have your cake and eat it that much? As I say, I couldn't care less.
And, you know, the key thing that I think needs to be focused on in terms of equity is that it's not a zero-sum game. Just because someone else has the same advantage that you do doesn't mean that you're losing anything. And it actually creates an environment that is so fair, but also inclusive, where people feel as though they have a seat at the table, as they should.
Now, obviously, there is no meaning behind what Meghan is saying. It's pure word salad and buzzwords, and it's not the person to be having this debate with. But I do agree, in a sense, that there has to be a certain minimum for people in society. Otherwise, if inequality gets out of control, everyone just goes mental, and everything just breaks down, okay? So, yes. However, that's not what equity means. Equity means that a lot of Asian people don't get into college. And I'm not going to elaborate on that.
Meghan, will you tell the story about when you wrote that letter to P&G? Because I don't know if everyone's heard it, but it's such a great story at a very young age, what you did.
That's so fun. Yes.
Yes. We'll leave that for the next video, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. A bit different today. A bit longer. I was rambling a bit. I enjoyed it. I hope you did. Give it a like. Tell me what you think in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one. Check out my Patreon. We've got 5 videos up there now, and there's more coming out this week. They're really good, and you're helping out the channel massively if you can join me over there. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
The gloves are coming off.